How you doing, everybody? I haven't been for a while. I don't know. I haven't been really wanting to do videos, but this is a video, and this is completely about boxers. Well, two boxers. One is an upcoming fighter. It's basically a fight prediction. It's a fight prediction between, and probably most of you guys haven't heard it, but this guy's a threat. Luis Carlos Abregu. He's 36-1 with 29 knockouts. Going up against Sadam Ali. That's a fight prediction. Well, the way I see this fight going on, I've read about both guys. Sadam Ali, he's from Brooklyn. He's, an Arabic fighter. From Best Eye. And he's 18-0 with 11 KOs. Nicknamed the World Kid. 26 years old, so he's new. He's an upcoming fighter. He really hasn't fought anybody, really big. Nobody at all. I'm looking at his record. None of these guys are named. And he's been down on the ground. Like, he got dropped by fucking journeyman. You know what I'm saying? He still won those fights, but he got dropped by journeyman. He hasn't really faced a puncher like Luis Carlos Abregu. Luis Carlos Abregu he's a problem. I'm telling you, he gonna knock him out. He gonna knock out Sadam Ali, in my opinion. Why? Because, from what I've seen, anything can happen in the sport, In order for Sadam Ali to win the fight, he gonna have to be on his legs all day long and pretty much stick and move with Carlos Abregu. But Carlos Abregu ain't gonna go for that because he can box. The only loss that Carlos Abregu had was to Tim Bradley, and at that time Carlos Abregu said his hand was fucked up, so that's why he lost the fight. He would have won. He would have beat Tim Bradley. But he lost to Tim Bradley, so he lost to a quality name. He hasn't really fought anybody either. Well, he hasn't really beat anybody, but he knocked out a guy that's they're making him like I'm not gonna say Miguel Cotto, but Thomas Delorme. A lot of people don't know who he is, but I know who he is. He's a very, very good boxer from Puerto Rico. He got a good boxing background. He could box. He knocked him out when he was undefeated. Sent Thomas Delorme back down to 140 because Carlos Abregu is a welterweight. So he moved up to welterweight and he knocked him out in the 7th round. I saw that fight. That fight was crazy. But then after that, he had two more fights. One was a unanimous decision to Anton DeCarry, Canadian boxer. That was on the Sergio Martin Murray undercard. And then he fought Jean Carlos Prada in Argentina. He had most of his fights. Carlos Abregu had most of his fights in Argentina. But he gonna knock out Sadam Ali. They did spar back in the Brooklyn gym a couple years back, or they do spar, So they know each other. So this ain't gonna be no easy win. But I predict that Luis Carlos Abregu is gonna knock out Sadam Ali for the simple fact that Sadam Ali been dropped maybe more than once. So I seen him get dropped by bums. You know what I'm saying? He's been dropped by bums. So that's what I think. That's my opinion. Carlos Abregu is a pressure fighter. He's from Argentina. He's a puncher. He's 36-1 with 1 loss, and he got 29 KOs. He fought a lot of, no names too, but at the same time, he's been active. He fights. You know what I'm saying? He's not like one of those once fights a year. He stays active, so I gotta give him credit for that. And the same thing with Ali too. He's been fighting recently too. So the fight is made. It's gonna be on November 8th. I can't wait to see this fight. It's gonna be a very interesting fight. I want to see how Sadam Ali it handles that power, because Abregu is a serious puncher. Who I want to see Abregu? I want to see him against Keith Thurman. Then we really say it. He's not a big name. Luis Carlos Abregu is not a big name, but he's a good boxer, and he got power at welterweight. He's at 147. He got power. It's rumor has it that Manny Pacquiao didn't want to fight him. Brandon Rios wasn't trying to fight him. And I guess they got their reasons why. I mean, he's not a big name. And, you know, what they're going to get beating him if they beat him. You know what I'm saying? And he's a risk. He's another Gennady Golovkin type. He's not on Gennady Golovkin type level, but power-wise, at welterweight, he is. You know? So that's my fight prediction on that. I think he'll knock him out. I don't know what round. It's going to be competitive. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Because Carlos Abregu is a puncher. I seen him knock out Thomas Delorme. And Thomas Delorme is not a bump. Thomas Delorme, he's a young fighter. He hasn't fought. He actually fought. He beat Kareem Mayfield when Kareem Mayfield was undefeated. He beat him by unanimous decision. You know. So, you know, Carlos Abregu he's going to be a problem. You know. For Sadam Ali to beat him, he's going to have to, you know, outbox him and move around consistently and make him miss. Because if he gets caught with one of these shots, I mean, I seen him go down. I don't think he's going to handle Abregu's, you know, power like that. So, that's my fight prediction. This is the fight that I've been wanting to wait. I mean, it's not a crazy fight, but it's a decent fight. And this tells you where both of these guys are at. So, it's a type of, you know, step-up fight, you know. After these fights, they probably get a bigger fight, you know what I'm saying? Maybe Carlos Abregu will get a rematch with Bradley, which would be interesting because he said he lost because he had his hand broken or whatever. But, you know, Luis Carlos Abregu, watch the name, he's a problem, you know? He's a big problem. So, that's what I got to say about that. Let me know what y'all think.